Greetings, folks. This is folks. I want to welcome to a special program today. We're going to talk about relationships. My name is Mason Weaver, and a lot of you know my story. Just an old guy that's been around a long time, paid attention. So I want to talk today about what I discovered about relationships. About husband and wife. The name of my book is Raunchy Secrets Only Wives Should Know. This is not about girlfriends. I know girlfriends are going to be watching, women are going to be watching, young girls are going to be watching, but the intimacy I want to talk about in this series of talks are things about girlfriend and boyfriend, husband and wife, how to become husband and wife. Because we have drifted so far from where God wants us to do that we cannot really understand what God requires of us. So we're a little bit behind the curveball. We have this thing called a battle of the sexes, and I want to talk about that. I wrote this book because of a series of discussions that I had with women after my wife passed away. Women who had seen me take care of her, saw our relationship over 35 years of marriage and 10 years of courtship. They saw how I treated her and how she treated me. They saw our lifestyle, and how happy she was, and how comfortable I was. And so a lot of women started asking me those kind of questions, and I couldn't answer them all. So we started doing videos. We started doing um, live Zoom meetings. So that came a series of discussions and conversations. So finally, we came out with this book, Raunchy Secrets Only Wives Should Know. And you should probably be able to find that book on our website, godcommandssex.com. That's God Commands with an S, sex.com. Because God created us and told us to go have sex. Praise God. God said, go out and replenish the earth. So that means we're supposed to have sex. So God intends for us to enjoy sex. So why is the relationship between man and woman so hostile? So hostile to the point that we can't even talk to each other. To the point that men have started organizations. Straight, heterosexual, sex-loving men have started groups to vow not to touch a woman again. These are some of them are married men. And I know some. They are in love with their wives. They're just tired of the war. They're tired of the war. And for folks, ladies, it takes a lot to make a man not want to have you. It takes a lot. But it's happening. Don't throw it away. Don't say, oh, they don't want us. They don't need us. I can do. Don't do that. Don't do that, please. Ladies, listen to me. You're required to have a sexual relationship with a man. A man. That's how God designed it. That's how God put it together. And to have men get so frustrated and angry and upset, fighting everything in the house, arguing for everything in the relationship, have to debate. Everything you say is negative. Everything they say to you is negative. Every problem, every issue becomes a problem. That doesn't create an environment where that man and that woman could live together. Now, who could be against that? Who could be for that? Who would want that? What entity? Let me think for a second. What entity wants a battle of the sexes? God looked at man and declared, it's not good for the man to be alone. So, because it was not good, God formed something for our good and presented you to Adam, to man, for our own good. So, if God said it's not good, then that means it's not good. And if God brought woman to man, that means you're made for us. And He told us to go out and replenish the earth. Why are we fighting so much? What could be the reason that we're fighting so much? What could be the object of this battle of the sexes? Satan. He comes against every thing that God wants. He comes against us. So let's have a nice discussion today. And you can find my website, godcommandssex.com. You can find the book, Raunchy Secrets, Only Wives Should Know. You can join us on Facebook. We have an official Raunchy Secret site on my Clarence A. Mason website. You can find us, join us, have discussions. You can have private conversations with me if you go to coach.clarenceamason.com. I answer your questions in your first couple of minutes for free, and we'll talk about it. We're going to have group meetings. We're planning a nice meeting next Valentine's Day, probably in Florida somewhere, where we get together with couples. Bring them in with you. Let's talk. Let's talk about it. Discuss it. This should not be a battle. It should be easy. It should be easy for men and women to come together. It shouldn't be difficult. Easy for me. What about you? We are different. In a relationship, men and women are different. You're made different than me, ladies. There's a reason why you're made different than me. There's a reason why I'm tall in general and you're short in general. There's a reason why you have a lower sense of gravity than we do. There's a reason why you're afraid of bugs. There's a reason why you see flowers differently. We see flowers. You see colors we don't see. You see colors that men do not see. Men are hunters and women are gatherers. So the woman who can see the different shades of color in the fruit will pick the best fruit for her kids. But men are made to see the fruit, different shades. Men are made to see the different shades of earth tone colors. We can look across the field and we can see a brown spot under a tree. And we can tell you if that's a cow or a bear. And you need to know. But you can only see the colors of the fruit on the tree, if it's worth walking out there or not. Women talk when they gather. You talk because you got to share information. Oh, it's better over here. The fruit's more clear over here. The water's clean over here. You're talking. And look today, when you go shopping, it's all talk. You talk, you talk. When you're out in the car together with your man, you're in the backseat talking and talking. We're quiet. We're quiet because we're made to hunt. And you cannot talk while you're fishing. You cannot talk with your buddies about what you're going to do tonight while you're waiting on the path for the deer to come by. The family will starve. So we evolved to be quiet. You can't talk and chit chat while you're waiting in ambush for the enemy to come. So we're aggressive. We go out at night because men tend to be able to see at night. That's why we can't see colors. There are no colors at night. So we're made to walk around at night. I walked in my home with no lights on. My granddaughters were amazed. Why don't you? And I stood there one night in the kitchen, dark. I said, "Don't you see the door right there?" They said, "No." "Don't you see the wall right there, the light switch?" "No." I didn't see it clearly, but I saw what it was. They didn't see because they're made to see bright lights. I'm made to see in the dark to protect you. So we have our roles to play. We have our roles to play, ladies, but we love you. We love you, and we will conquer the world for you. But ladies, in spite of your fantasies, we will not be conquered by you. And if you did conquer us, if you submitted to your authority and your wisdom and followed your rules, you would not be happy and we would not be happy. And you see it every day. You will never see a loud woman and a loud man. You will never see an aggressive woman with an aggressive man. The man has to become less aggressive. It's artificial. It's artificial. But he loves that wife more than she loves him. So he has to submit in order not to have an argument because you cannot say anything to a lady that she does not like. You can't say it. It's rude, it's mean, and you got to argue it back. So you end up not saying, you got to say this, but you don't want to argue, so men give up and then walk around and they're unhappy because the female's not happy because he's not leading and she gets on his case. And ladies, let's just stop it. Let's just stop it. You're made a certain way. And the world is telling you a difference that you're not made a certain way. I'm not equal to a woman in a whole lot of things. And you're not equal to me in a whole lot of things. And nowadays, women can't tell if they're what gender they are. Men can't tell if they're men or females. Women think women, you believe that your function of your body is up to you, and men think that we can become females. We think that. That's not all of us. I don't think that, but a lot of you do. So I'm just telling you, ladies, just stop for a second. We are different, but we desire each other. We desire each other. We really want to be with you, ladies. There's nothing on planet Earth like a female. Nothing like it. We really desire you. We will give our life for you. You're the only creature on the planet that men will give their life for because you're valuable. But that doesn't mean you're going to run us. I love a steak dinner. I got my favorite restaurant down the street here. It's really good steak. Ah, they cook it perfectly. And I think about that steak when I'm hungry. I think about that dinner, the ambiance of the restaurant, and the way that chef cooks that food. I think about it. And when I'm so entrenched in this idea of the steak that I will get up and get dressed, drive across the city for this steak dinner. I desire it. And it costs a lot of money. I pay for that steak dinner because I desire it. But once that dinner comes and I've consumed it and I'm satisfied now, that steak dinner has no effect on me. I take a napkin and throw it over the doggone bottle of wine and put my fork on the plate and back away from that table, wait for that bill to come so I can get the heck on out of there, going back home. And I will not think about that steak dinner again until I'm hungry again. But with a woman, no. Think about it, everything I do is for her. Everything I contemplate is for her. Everything I put aside is for her. You're not made, ladies, let me explain something to you. You're made for each other, man and woman. You are not made to be a grandmother. You are not made to be a mother of your children. You're not made to be a great employee for your employer. I'm sorry, you're not made for that. What you're made for is to be a wife. What you're designed for is to be a wife. And 1,000 years from now, the Lord have not come back yet, it's what your kids have done, not your job today. What your great grandkids have achieved, not the position you have in the church. You are made to be a wife. I am made to be a husband. I'm going to be a husband as a role. I'm not going to have anything more important to me than my wife, and she will not have anything or anyone more important to me than I am. So understand the roles. We have roles to play for the good. It's not good. God said it's not good, and Satan is trying to point out to you that you're strong. And women today, Lord have mercy, women today are trying to become the men that they want. So we're going to get into this today. We're going to get into all the ambiance today. It's going to be a little study here. Women think that men, they desire a man that's strong and attentive and successful and at the top of his game, educated, motivated. So they go out and get a degree, they go to the gym and get strong, and they take the vitamins. They get a good job and a good career, and they assume that that kind of man will see them with the same qualities and say, yeah, that'd be a great partnership. Men don't pick women for a partnership, ladies. They don't really care. They don't care in general about your job. They don't care. It's not a deal breaker, not a deal maker. Job, career, just it's irrelevant to us. We don't pick you because you're really good in the boardroom. We don't have this desire to have on our arm the most intelligent, well-educated female. We just don't care. It's not going to be positive. You can have a man. I know a man. I don't know the man personally, but a very popular singer met his bride at a red light as she walked by his car driving his Rolls Royce convertible. And this woman, this female, walked by his car in a McDonald's outfit, going to supersize it at a McDonald's job. This man, wealthy entertainer, could not keep his eyes off this female as she walked by his car. And he put his car in park at the red light and got out of his car. Said, young lady, can I take you wherever you're going? I will take you wherever you're going. I have 5 minutes of your time. He ended up marrying her because she was just took his heart away the minute he laid eyes on her. Now, ladies, that's very romantic, but that's your question. Can you imagine yourself sitting in your Rolls Royce convertible, your hair done, your nails done, your makeup on, you see some dude walk by in a McDonald's outfit, handsome, the most handsome guy you ever met in your life. He's going to be the shift captain at McDonald's. Can you imagine yourself tooting your horn? Man, take my number down. Give me a call when you get off work. Can you imagine? No, you were not thinking because you require a different standard of what that man is. He only requires that you look good and you're nice and you got a smile on your face and you're pleasant. That's all we care because that means that the house is going to be pleasant. Your career does not mean that much to a man. Now he'll tell you that because we are hunters and we will look at you and see what's important to you. We meet you, we will look at you and see what's important to you. If you put a lot of time in your hair, we know that. We'll say it's a great hairdo. If you put a lot of time in your makeup and your perfume and your earrings, we know that. We say that's some pretty earrings, girls. We recognize it. Whatever we look up and down in about 2 seconds, we know what's important to you. We know if you work out. We know if you're proud of your figure. We know. And we're going to tell you, I like that too. That's nice. And you're going to say, oh, he's so smart. He's so nice. We are hunters. We may learn to love you, may learn to appreciate you, may marry you, but the first instinct, the first impression we see you is visual. It's visual. So we're different. Every guy listening to this knows if you pull up, no matter what your career, what you're driving, you pull up and see the fine sister walk by, young lady walk by. You don't care where she's going. You don't care what she's doing. How you doing? Get in the car. That's what we do. Now, by the way, I meant to say this when I first began. I want you to subscribe, hit the like button. It's important. We're going to be moving over to Gab and other things, but keep us in mind what you're doing now. God made us for each other. We're different. That's why we fit. When I was in the Navy, everybody in the Navy has firefighting training. No matter what your job is going to be in boot camp, you're behind going to learn how to put out a fire, a oil fire, an engine room fire where you got a grade over the oil and the oil's on fire like a barbecue pit. You got to have to learn how to put, the cook learns that, the clerk upstairs typing the orders learns that. Every military, every Navy person will go through boot camp. When you come out of boot camp, your first job, your first title, your first signature on your arm is seaman fireman first. Fireman. That's your every man in the Navy, every female learns how to put a fire out. And what you learn first is that you have two connections. Two connections. They call it the female end and they call it the male end. Okay, and you got to put them together and one screws into the other. Basic. You didn't know when you look at them which one. Ain't no discussion. Today I will be a male end. Today I will be a female end. You have to know, and it comes together at the right moment because, folks, in an emergency, you got Joe and his crew trying to hook up with Bob and his crew, and you're trying to do this together. You're doing this together, trying to get the fit. No, the female stays still. Whoever got the female end of the hose stays still, and the male end comes and connects and screws in. The female stays still and they screw in. That's how and then you know you're connected. If you both don't know that, you're doing this, trying to get that connection. You never get it and you burn up and die. You have to understand things are made a certain way. The male end and the female end is designed for a reason. And if you get that understanding together, you can have a great, great relationship with your female male partner. So if God put us together and God had desired us to be together, why can't we find time to be together? Why are we against it? Because Satan does not want anything that God wants. Satan comes against any command. Satan hates children. That means he hates families. That means he hates relationships. So we have to fight. This is a spiritual battle here. And the Raunchy Secrets, or the official Raunchy Secrets, Only Wives Should Know, we're going to discuss that spiritual element. You know, my wife has been gone for over 2 years now. And she was the reason I lived. And now God brought me another female in my life that I love. And I have a reason to be comforting and comfort. I have a reason to sit down, but this is a different creature. This is a female. I know she's a female. I'm not trying to pretend she's nothing else. She has her issues as a female. I have mine as a male. And what we're doing is trying to see how we could these two people can come together for an us. And we're both mature enough and old enough now to sit back and say, wait a minute, we got to make something different here. We got to make something different. We got full lives. We're old folks now. We're not, in our 60s or 70s. We got to sit back and say, I got grandkids, you got grandkids. You got family, I have family. You have things you've done all your life. I have things I've done all my life. We got to throw out things that we can and try to build up things that we can. And that's a relationship, folks. And I want you all to find that because I'm thrilled to death now to meet this young lady. And it's the reason that I'm so excited about life now because it is not good for the man to be alone. So I want you to understand that. Satan comes against us and everything that God plans, every promise, every prophecy, and every gift. Men and women are God's gift to each other. Men and women are God's gift to each other. So, what I don't want though, and what your man doesn't want, ladies, hope you hear me. We come home from work, and you come home from work, and you're excited to express what happened on the job. Oh, Sally did this and Bob did this, and we got to get this project on it. Blah 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 blah. Girls, stop. Leave the work at home. Leave the work at home at work. Leave the work there. We escape work to come home to comfort. That's a battle to us. See, work is part of our punishment to God from the garden, toiling the field, and work is our punishment. We don't like work. We try to get as little of it as possible in, but work is not your punishment. So you enjoy work. Oh yeah, I got this done, but don't bring that. No, no. In general, we don't want to hear it when you get home. Your punishment is your husband ruling you, and that's why you don't like that. You don't like submitting. We didn't say submit. That is not a commandment that man gives female. We have not demanded. God didn't even tell us she shall submit to you. He didn't even tell us she will she will obey you. No, that was your punishment, and it's also a man's punishment because we're going to suffer through that. If we don't get you to do things the way God wants us to do things, we get punished. So it's it is not something we find enjoyable. Having a woman submit to us is a responsibility, and it's not something we take lightly. But God put that on you. You're going to argue with God on that, not man. So now you have a man and woman. And when you come home, ladies, try this when you come home. Don't ask your man how your day been. Don't make him recite all the crap that happened that day. Just have him sit down, give him a cold drink, and say, I'm not gonna ask you how your day has been. I'm gonna tell you how your evening is gonna be. That's your king. If you grit him that way, he's gonna treat you a certain way. Um, and on this the household, ladies love to be multitasking. You love to have 5, 6 things going at one time. I understand you got babies, you got jobs, you got cooking, you got things are working, but nothing gets done completely. It doesn't because you're running doing 5, 6 things at once. I know you got to get the baby ready. You got laundry you got to get on right now. You got breakfast to cook, but don't let breakfast come to the table smelling like laundry detergent. I know we can help too. You can help too. And all that. I got you. I got you. I got you, dude. I understand. You're not gonna help us change the oil in the car. So we got our roles to play, male and female. We got things to play on the hose, the garden hose. That's okay. But multitasking all the time means nothing gets done completely, and things get out of hand. So try to maybe just have one or two important tasks, especially as it gets to the end of the evening. End of the evening, you settle down, you put things away. You don't put things up because in the evening you got your main job, husband and wife. Husband and wife. It has to be you and him. End of the day, it's got to be some time set aside every day. You and him time. In my household, it was 9 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock at night, we go in the bedroom and watch TV. The day is done. We settling down. We got two big old doors, and the door ain't open, and the kids can come in and out when they wanted to. But mom and dad, grandpa and grandma was in the chair watching television, having a snack, and chit chatting about us. Us. We don't plan vacations with the kids. We don't talk about the school play. Back in that room, we're talking about where we're going, what we're doing tomorrow, us together, what vacation we're going to take, planning our future, talking. And that bed was our marriage. That bed was our marriage. The bedroom was our marriage. Out in the living room, out in the family room, that was the family. That's our family. It's our kids, our grandkids, our friends over. That's our entertainment. Downstairs was the friends. In the basement was the man cave in it. We had the beauty salon for the girls. Oh, that's great, wonderful. Backing up as the time goes by in that day. At 9 o'clock, me and her in that bedroom. Music on most of the time, talking, chit chat. Doors are wide open. Doors are wide open. But that's our marriage. She was made to be a wife, not a co-worker. She worked 35 years for AT&T. Gotcha. Understand. Understand. Senior tech. Ran the local office. Gotcha. But that was my woman. That was not her. That was not who she was. That's my wife. She wasn't a grandmother. She was my wife. She wasn't a sister. That's my wife. She wasn't a a daughter. Love my father-in-law. That ain't your woman. That ain't your woman. It's my woman. The person I tended to grow old with. The person I gave my last name to. She became a different creature. He gave her to me in marriage. That's a different creature. And that's a marriage. People keep saying how relationships don't last long. They say relationships last 50% of all marriages break up. Yeah, hear that? 50% of all marriages break up. So why get married? Why get married? 50% break up. Now, the divorce rate is not near 50%, but the breakup of marriages is about 50%. What's the breakup of stacking up together? What's the rate of breakup when you sleep with a guy not married to him? What's the rate when you just do a drive by? Guys come by and see you. Let's drive by and see you. What's the rate on that? Anybody ever do it? That figures on that? No, because it's disastrous. It's disastrous. But understand who you are now, ladies. Because I'm just telling you, we love you. We give our life for you, but we will not be dominated by you. So multitasking. Don't let the food smell like laundry detergent. I mean, something, and also big, my way on that subject of smell and taste. Makeup, ladies. I know why women bring flowers in the house. Not because they like the smell. They don't like the way they smell. Women don't like the odor of a female. Men like the odor of a female because it means the female is there. We like females. But you put on the flowery stuff, bring flowers in the house, you even put flowers in your dress because you want to smell good. But honestly, I had a lingerie and makeup business. We had the creams and lotions we designed them ourselves. We had skin oils and lotions and potions. And I want you to understand something, ladies. It smells good. They don't taste good. You put the little perfume on your neck. End of the day, you come home from work, and your man hugs you and kisses you on your neck. Next time you go to a department store and you're testing the perfume to put on a little paper for you, wave in there, and you smell it, try to lick it. It's bitter. All that lotion that you put on your body makes your skin feel good, but it tastes horrible. It tastes horrible. The spray you put on tastes bad. We prefer the natural female, but we can't tell you that because you cannot say anything to a lady you do not want. You can reach me, folks, at coach.clarencemason.com, coach.clarencemason.com to get more on that. Um, you know, you don't work at a marriage. You don't work at a marriage. You play at a marriage. You play at a marriage. So always be playful. Have something that you do to joke around. My suggestion is to get a nickname for each other. A nickname that has nothing to do with the reality. So that when something goes wrong, something's funny, something crazy happens, you can blame it on that nickname person. That, hey, Betty, Susie really was crazy last night. And you can both laugh. because you can't get defended. Then create that environment where we can talk to each other and deal with each other. Um, and also serving one another. This is very, very important to serve each other. And I don't mean try to, men ain't gonna have some things we're not gonna do, some things you're not gonna do. But you can't outgive God and you cannot outserve each other. You cannot outgive your wife. You cannot outgive your wife. But what she gives you back in return, you can buy it. Men, you cannot buy it. If your wife knows that you are sacrificing all for her, and ladies, it's important for you to recognize this. If you can recognize the man is giving all he has to you, you give all you have to him. If you know the guy's going to give his life for you one day, you will live your life for him. But it takes a giving. Who can give the most to each other? Who can give the most to each other? Instead of who can get the most from each other. Instead of who can get the most from each other. Who can give the most? So you have to you have to understand you get out of a relationship what you put into it. You get what you feed. If you're fussing about something, you get more of it. If you got two things about the marriage that you like and dislike, if you praise what you like, it will grow. It's like watering a tree. And what you ignore, what you don't like, that will wither and go away. But instead, if you try to take both, I like that, I don't like this, I like that, I don't like this, you get nothing. Just praise what you like. Just praise what you like. Just praise what you like. And you will get more of what you like. That's my suggestion to you. I've been in with a female almost 50 years. And I'm telling you, you praise what you like. What you like to cook. Don't tell her what you don't like to cook. Tell her what you like. I like that. I really like that. I like how you do this. With your man, I love the way you take care of my car, baby. I love the way you get that grass cut. And my wife, bless her heart, she was she was the most inspiring woman I've ever met. She inspired me to do what she wanted me to do, and she was so good at it, even knowing that I didn't mind. We had 15 acres of land, about 3.5 acres of grass to cut on the hills. Tough cutting that grass, even a big old lawnmower, riding mower didn't matter. And whenever I cut that grass out there and hot and the bugs, every time I turned the lawnmower toward the house, there she was on the porch waving. How you doing, babe? Sitting out there with a cool glass of Kool-Aid watching her man work. Yeah, work on. I like a hardworking man, blah, 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 blah. Every time I do that, and when I finish, put the lawnmower away, she has the lawnmower go off. By the time I walk from the shed back to the house, walk around to the back, and now I got a second glass of cold drink for myself. And I sit there with her, and she tells me how great that lawn looks. Oh, that looks pretty. Those lines are straight. That's really needed. The fertilizer is wonderful. It's really, I love this view. I love this view. Cut that grass more, didn't I? I made sure it was nice, didn't I? I made sure that the pond was cut down right and grown right. I made sure the lines were great. I made sure that the grass was fertilized. I made sure because my wife encouraged it. She fed it. She fed it. She fed it. You cannot give each other, folks. It's a great, great, great contest to lose. So, you get what you feed. Now, also your questions to me. If you have any questions to me, you go to my website. God Command Sex. You can't really leave a message there. It's just about a book. So you can go to Leave the Plantation, leavetheplantation.org, and leave me a note there. Or Mason Weaver at Mason Weaver for emails. I answer all your questions. We're almost done here. I want you to know the basic concern I have about how things are going nowadays is that we don't understand that we're spiritual beings. We got a spirit and we have a heart. God breathed in us, we became a living soul. Our soul is eternal. Our soul doesn't fear anything. Our soul is not afraid to die or get hurt. It's not afraid of the dark or somebody beating us. Your soul is fearless. Your soul says, go do that. I don't care how big your life is, go do that. That's your soul. But your heart is timid. Your heart's connected to your nerves, your pain, your fears, your cold, your hot, your love, your hate. That's your heart. And your heart, it wants you to be still. Don't do this. You may hurt yourself. Don't do this. That's your heart. All your life, you had a battle between the heart and your spirit. All your life, as a little baby, your heart saying, don't try to walk. No, keep crawling. Don't try to walk because you'll fall down and hurt yourself. Your soul saying, let's walk so we can run. Come on, let's go get this thing done. That's the difference. Now, you have to understand, you got to feed one or the other. but your soul, your spirit is fearless, and your heart is fearful. And it's there for a reason. You're saying you can't walk and you start running. You can't ride a tricycle, so you start riding a bicycle. You can't skate, so you get a motorcycle. And next thing you know, you're grown and have achieved everything in your life you ever want to achieve because you are good at what you're doing. So, yeah, understand the battle. If you're fearful, anxiety, that's your heart. If you're courageous, no matter how the job is. I laid in the hospital bed, 1971, just high school dropout basically, and disabled, unable to work. And my goal was to go to law school. So the goal is more important, folks. It is more important to set the goal than it is to achieve the goal. It's more so you ain't gonna worry about I can't do it. How can I go to school? How can I go to college? My back is broken. How can I go to college? I can't. That's your heart. Your soul is saying, dude, we gotta make some money. We gotta make some money. Come on, let's get out here and do this stuff. Get this thing done. I lay in the hospital bed, uneducated, unmotivated. But the goal of going to law school, I had to finish high school, I had to go to junior college, I had to go to Berkeley, I had to graduate with good classes, with good grades, I had to take that law school admissions test. 4 years later, I was there at the gates of law school. Decided I didn't want to go to law school. But guess what? The goal had got me multiple degrees and a great job offer, which ended up 5 years later learning enough not to have to work anymore. The goal in your marriage, in your life, in your family, set the goals. It doesn't matter if you reach your goals. It's more important to set the goals. So this is Mason. Our site is Raunchy Secrets Only Wives Should Know. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's chat about it, share notes about it, fuss at each other about it, and then we'll meet online and we'll meet in private, in person. We can have seminars if you are interested. We have seminars. If not, we're not interested either. But this is Mason. I love you. I care about you. I want us all to be happy. So join us, Mason, a coach at ClarenceAMason.com. Stay right or be left. Eternity is a long time to be wrong. Take care.